Okay, this is Miss Abelow's 7th period social studies class, and we are very excited to present the second play, The Search for Osiris.
Astarte, queen of the Phoenician state of Abelow, sat in her seaside palace looking over the green waters before her. In her arms she held her young son Dictys.
Wham! Wham! Please do not cry, my child.
The queen looked around the magnificent hall in which she lived, a home renowned throughout all the land. Her husband had fashioned the central pillar of the hall from a huge tamarisk tree that was so wide of girth and bloomed so lovely that it seemed to be enchanted by the gods themselves. The queen remembered the day her husband had called her down to the seaside to claim the tree.
Here it is, my wife. The tree that has become famous through all Syria. What do you think? Should we cut it down and make it part of our home?
Certainly, it seems blessed by the gods.
Her husband had hoped that blessed tree would in turn bless their home. Instead, tragedy had come. The son Astarte, cradled in her arms, was growing weaker day by day. Every physician she had consulted had given her the same answer: the child would die.
Oh, my son, my son!
At that moment, the queen heard some of her serving maids noisily entering the palace from the nearby beach. She laid Dictys in his crib and stalked toward her servant stern-faced.
What is the meaning of this racket? Don't you know my son is ill?
When the serving maids beheld the somber face of the queen, they quickly snapped to attention.
We are sorry, mistress. We were just down at the seashore and...
I know where you were, you thoughtless!
Then Queen Astarte told the king all that had happened. There the serving the queen had never seen before. Leaves and flowers were also pinned there.
What have you done to your hair?
Oh, this, we beg your pardon, mistress. There was a wise woman down by the shore, and she showed us how to do this art. She called it a braid. It is silly. We apologize.
No, it is beautiful.
Queen Astarte ran her fingers over the intricate pattern of the braid. Something in it seemed so magical.
Clever. A wise woman did this, you say? From our country?
No, I had never seen her before. She was as old as the waves themselves.
Return to the shore and bring this woman to me. I must know her.
The serving maids did as their mistress bade them, and soon they returned with a hobbling old woman clothed modestly in the Egyptian style.
Welcome to the land of the Phoenicians, wise woman. I can tell by your dress you are from the land of Egyptians. Might we offer you the hospitality of our home?
The old woman did not respond but looked silently around the magnificent hall. In its midst, the massive tamarisk pillars supported the roof overhead. The wise woman reached out her withered hand and laid it upon this central pillar.
Yes, I will stay. Here is where I belong.
Just then, the wailing of the prince filled the hall. The old woman turned with compassionate eyes.
A child is sick?
Yes, and no one can heal him.
Nonsense. Let me attend to him.
So the Egyptian wise woman became the nurse of the ailing child, and under her care, Prince Dictys soon grew well. However, no one could understand how exactly the wise woman had cured him, for they never saw her pay any special care.
Wise woman, we cannot thank you enough for helping our child to recover. He grows stronger and stronger each day. What is your secret?
I cannot tell you. Just know this: when I am finished, your son, he will be better than ever.
Queen Astarte's curiosity could not rest, and she asked her serving maids about the old woman's methods.
Mistress, all we know is the woman takes a child into her room alone at night. After this, we hear her build up the fire to a blazing heat. Then we hear the twittering of a swallow.
Magic! I must know!
So Queen Astarte hid herself in the wise woman's room one night. Presently, she saw the old woman carry the infant prince into the room, bar the door, and heap up the fire.
Tut, tut, child. Let me prepare your medicine.
When the fire was burning fiercely, the old woman made a glowing red space between the logs.
Now it's good and hot. Time for you to go in.
Then the old woman took the baby and placed him in the midst of the raging fire. In the blink of an eye, the form of the old woman melted into that of a swallow, its white wings hovering over the flames.
No!
Astarte rushed forward and snatched Dictys out of the fire, only to find that he was quite unharmed by it. In fact, the baby began to cry indignantly at being plucked so suddenly from such a warm and comfortable bed.
Wham, wham.
What is the meaning of this, you mad woman?
Mad woman. Rah!
The swallow landed and melted back into the form of a goddess.
You are the mad woman.
You snatched your child away before I could cure him completely.
You would burn my child alive.
No, you fool. I am the goddess Isis. Each night I was burning away a bit of his mortality. Eventually he would have been an immortal like me. Since you snatched him free, he will remain mortal and die like the rest of his kind.
Oh, please, forgive me. Make my son immortal. We will give you all the riches of our kingdom, if you will.
That I cannot do. You spied on me, and I cannot stand spies. But I will make your son well and leave my blessing on you if you will give me the treasure that the great pillar of your hall contains.
The pillar of the hall? Oh, of course. We will give you anything for what you have done for us.
Then Queen Astarta told the king all that had happened.
Whatever the pillar contains, we will give it to the goddess.
He sent for his workmen, and the pillar was removed and split open. Isis watched these proceedings with anticipation. Her eyes flashed as the wood fell away to reveal the golden sheen.
Osiris, my love.
Within the pillar was the golden casket of Osiris, her husband. The goddess turned to the king.
Have this coffin borne down to the seashore for me.
Yes,
Your people are great sailors, are they not?
yes, our ships are known the world over.
Then fashion me a boat to carry home this coffin.
We will send you skillful sailors to pilot it for you too.
When the servants had lifted the coffin free, Isis poured perfume on what remained of the wooden pillar.
Place this in your most sacred temple, and it will bring pilgrims to Abelow for many ages. Everyone will know that this wood held the body of God.
So the people of Abelow built a temple in which they set the wooden pillar.
Now I must depart this place and leave you with my blessing.
Isis went down to the sea where the king's servants had set the coffin on a mighty ship. She boarded and commanded the sailors to embark from those shores. As they sailed back across the sea toward Egypt, she stood ever at the coffin's side, her hand resting upon its jeweled lid.
Oh, my husband, our scheming brother Set has tried to destroy you and hide you from me. Many months I searched for you, but at last we are reunited. I will return you home and see you buried in the proper manner.
When the ship of Isis passed the mouth of the river Phaedros, the river's current flowed so strongly that it started to drive the ship out to sea.
What is the matter? We are drifting out to the sea. Stay close to the mainland.
Forgive us. It's the river. It's pushing us off course.
We'll see about that.
Isis' anger flashed out and she cursed the river. The sailors stared in shock as the waters of the river stopped flowing before their very eyes.
You do not contest the will of Isis. Press on.
When the ship was sailing smoothly toward Egypt, once again Isis made a command.
Leave me, all of you. I require privacy.
So all the sailors left her presence, except for one, who was curious to see what she would do. Thinking she was unwatched, Isis turned to the coffin of her husband.
My love, let me gaze upon your face.
She pried up the coffin lid, yet as she did, she felt the presence of the sailor.
You fool!
She turned toward him with her fiery glance, one awful look of anger. The sailor fell dead upon the deck of the ship. The rest of the voyage, the sailors lived in dread of the mighty goddess and were careful to follow her every order. When they reached the Egyptian shore, Isis gave the sailors precise coordinates for where to land and unload the body of her husband.
Now, mortals, row home to Babylon as swiftly as you can.
She even sent a wind to help them on their way. The ship sped away like a feather on the breeze.
Now we are home, my love. The Nile flows before us. It is time for you to meet our son. Wajet, Wajet.
Isis, do you still safe with me, or your son is still safe with me? Do you wish to see him? He's hidden up the reeds just up the river.
Yes, take me to him. I will leave the coffin for just one night. Then tomorrow I can perform the burial rites.
However, it was not wise of Isis to delay, for beast-faced Set and his followers had been scouring the earth seeking for her return, and it was the hours of darkness that suited them best. Their dark forms crawled across the earth on a nightly hunt for any sign of Isis. Set stopped and sniffed, his forked tail swishing gleefully behind him.
Ooh, what is this I smell? The scent of Isis in the wind? Where is she? The body of my brother will not be far behind. Aroo!
Set followed the scent which led him to the place where Isis had placed the golden coffin of Osiris.
Ah, another present, all wrapped up for me.
Set tore open the coffin, revealing the corpse of Osiris.
Brother, still dead I see, but even death is too good for you. I want you to be lost forever.
With a great howl of rage and hate, Set snatched the body of his murdered brother out of the chest and violently tore it into 14 different pieces. Then, with pieces of the corpse still in his hands, he turned to his followers.
Scatter these pieces across the earth, so that Isis can never give Osiris a proper burial. Let him never find honor, even in the next world. Aroo! I have kept his spirit from passing into the Duat. Mwahaha!
As Set and his followers disappeared into the darkness, Isis was awakened by the faraway howls.
It can't be!
Still cradling her child in her arms, Isis ran to where she had left the coffin of Osiris, only to find it cluttered and empty.
Osiris, Osiris, no, what have I done? All is lost!
Broken-hearted, she turned to plunge into the darkness, but two misty forms blocked her path.
Who goes there?
The figures stepped forward. One was a regal woman wearing an elaborate headdress, and the other was a young man with the head of a jackal. They were Nephthys and Anubis, the wife and son of Set.
What are you two doing here? Has the family of Set come to gloat over the family of Osiris?
Please, sister, we are here to help.
Don't you dare call me sister. Your husband murdered my husband, your brother.
That is true, but then you left. You did not know that as soon as I learned what Set had done to Osiris, I left his side and I have not seen him since.
What about your son here? He seems to resemble his beastly father, a dog if I ever saw one.
Noble goddess, your words are unkind. Please do not judge me by my father. He has no respect for the dead. I help watch over it.
He has torn my husband into bits and scattered him across the world. Yes, he has a perfect revenge. My husband cannot even find rest in the Dua.
The jackal eyes of Anubis grew sorrowful.
Noble queen, it is my job to welcome cast of the departed into my underworld. I take their hearts into my hand and wave them. Those who have done good deeds are rewarded. Those who have not are punished. All of the gods knew your husband's heart, his kindness. I hope to one day reward him in the underworld. I will help you search for him.
It's impossible.
Anubis touched his jackal's snout.
Not with a nose like this. Allow me to act as your guide.
Thank you. I am sorry for doubting your loyalty.
Set has proved himself to be the enemy of all that is good. We must all band together to defeat him.
Once again, Isis bade her infant son, Horus, goodbye. She laid his falcon head against her own and cried tears of remorse.
Yes, I will return to you, son, as soon as your father knows rest.
Wadja welcomed Horus back into her coils.
He is secure with me.
I will watch over him as well.
Shall we depart, my queen?
Yes. Let us proceed.
Led by Anubis, Isis began her search anew, fading into the darkness of the Nile River bank. As they departed, they did not notice a pair of lurking eyes sticking up just above the surface of the water. They were the protruding eyes of a submerged hippopotamus, set in a disguise.
Go, you fools. Go on your vain search. In the meantime, I will steal what you value most.
Set's form rose from the water, taking on a more deadly shape and heading for his newest target, the sleeping infant Horus. Meanwhile, guided by the jackal-like senses of Anubis, who could smell death and decay miles away, Isis tracked down the scattered pieces of Osiris' body one by one.
Here is his hand, noble queen. Let us search for the next piece.
No, we must bury it here.
But Osiris will not be whole. It is only his hand.
I will use my magic to create an enchanted form of Osiris. Attach his hand and bury it here. We will do the same with each piece we find. Will this not satisfy the requirements of the next life?
I see. Yes, it will. And this will prevent some discarding of his body again.
He will be buried, but no one will know where the whole of his body lies.
In each far-flung local where a piece of the body was found, Isis performed the same ritual, burying a replica of her husband. Even to this day, many places claim to be the true burial place of Osiris, and they are all correct. Finally, they tracked down each piece of Osiris, except for one. However, Anubis soon found the scent. They commanded a papyrus canoe and took it far up the Nile River. Then suddenly the trail went cold.
This is odd. I smell a bit of your husband, but now it is gone. Let me think.
Anubis stared down into the Nile waters. Dark forms were passing below them.
Wait a minute. Sobek, show yourself.
Some timid bubbles were their only answer.
Come on, you leathery coward. Don't make me come down there. I am here with Isis, the queen of the gods.
The anger of Isis was legendary. No sooner had these words been spoken than a log plopped to the surface. Then the log opened its yellow eyes.
Queen Isis, meet Sobek.
The crocodile face grinned hesitantly at the queen and raised its human body up from the water.
Queen Isis, welcome to our waters.
Greetings, Lord of the Nile. I am in search for my husband, or parts of him at least.
Oh, really? I had not heard. Are you looking for any part of him in particular? Not that we've seen any in these parts.
The crocodile god's stomach gurgled loudly.
Liar, you ate a piece of him, didn't you?
Definitely not.
Sobek, how could you?
What am I supposed to do? If there's a perfectly good meat of flesh floating in the water, I snap it up. I have these animal instincts, you know.
Once a croc, always a croc.
The fiery anger of Isis began to ignite as the queen rose in her canoe. Sobek shrank down into the water.
How dare you!
Wait, my queen, wait. Have mercy. It's a crime to eat a bit of meat. I'll make it up to you. I'll promise to keep my crocodiles from hammering your journey. They are a deadly lot.
He is right, my queen. That would make our journey much safer.
Very well, but I declare whoever has eaten a piece of my husband is forever cursed.
Well, that's fair, I guess. I think I'm getting indigested already.
So Isis spared Sobek, her ward. Even to this day, the crocodiles of the Nile will not bother a papyrus boat, for they think it is Isis still searching for Osiris.
There's a lesson learned. Just because there's a tasty tree in the water, don't snap it up. Well, I best be gone.
Halt! The last piece of Osiris is missing. He cannot rest with it unburied.
Yeah, that's a real shame. See you later, alligator.
Wait, Sobek, I know you are a great healer. Is there some way you could help Isis with your secret knowledge? It is the least you can do for snacking on a bit of her husband.
Just for eating a bit of meat? Fine.
They drew their canoe up onto an island and Sobek assisted them into a forgotten spell.
Let's see, I bet that missing piece looked like something like this. No, not that. I know.
With Sobek's help, Isis recreated the final missing piece of Osiris and performed the final rite that would give her husband passage into the next life.
Yes, now the rituals are complete.
Good, now I'm going to slink off into the shallows. It's been real.
The croc god nodded to Anubis.
See you around, dog.
After a while, crocodile.
Ignoring Sobek's departure, Isis was anxiously watching the spot where she had buried the final piece of her husband in the soft earth.
Did it work? If only there were some way to know.
Suddenly, green wisps of mist rose up from the riverside ground, solidifying into the form of Osiris. His skin was sickly green. His body was wrapped with strips of cloth, and his head bore his white, domed crown. Osiris smiled when he beheld his wife.
Isis, my love, you have restored me. You have risked so much to bring me back.
There were tears in the goddess's eyes.
Only temporarily, my love. Even with you, all my moon magic, I cannot bring you permanently back to life. The very best I can do is allow you to pass beneath the earth in peace.
That is enough.
Osiris turned to Anubis, who knelt before him.
Thank you, Judge of the Dead. I will be seeing you soon. I think in your own land. Know this, although your father has betrayed me, I hold you no ill will.
King Osiris, when I hold your heart in my hand, I know it will be the lightest I've ever weighed.
Osiris nodded, and his eyes shone with a far-off light.
I leave this world, for now. Yet I know one day I will return. I will face my brother again and defeat him once and for all.
He turned toward Isis.
Thank you, my wife. Farewell.
The green vision of Osiris sank back into the earth, and so he passed into the Duat. There he became the king of the dead, welcoming all those whom the judges of the dead found worthy to enter his kingdom. These worthy warriors are added to his army of the blessed, with whom he will return to reign on earth after the last great battle was set.
Well, that is done. Let us return to my son.
Isis and Anubis journeyed for miles back the Nile to the reedy patch where she had hidden her son. Yet as they drew close, Anubis began to sniff the air.
I smell venom on the breeze. We must hurry.
From afar, Isis could see that something was wrong. Wadja was weeping. Cradling the still form of Horus in her coils, Nephthys was there weeping over the child as well.
Horus, what has happened?
Oh, Isis, right after you left, an enemy attacked. A huge scorpion stung Horus. I know. It must have been my husband in disguise.
Isis looked frantically at her shivering son. Anubis felt his feeble body examining the baby with his clever fingers.
He will live. Somehow he has enough strength to survive this attack. There is great strength in him.
Set will not stop until he has destroyed our family. I must face him.
No, he will destroy you for challenging him. He is too powerful. He has frightened almost all of the other gods into siding with him.
I must go, but not as myself. Please, sister, lend me your form.
My form? I told you. I left him in anger when I learned that he had murdered Osiris.
Please, it is the only way.
Very well. I guess you know what you are doing.
The two sisters touched their foreheads together and their forms melted into one and reformed into the opposite. Isis now stood in the likeness and regal headdress of Nephthys.
Please, Anubis, lead me once again, only this time to your father.
So jackal-faced Anubis rode Isis into the dark realm where his father kept a secret sanctuary. From a long distance off, Set saw her approach and chuckled to himself.
My wife, I knew you could not stay mad at me forever. Welcome back, my sweet. I have missed your caresses. I will take you back. If you beg, of course, I will have to punish you for leaving me.
If you lay a finger on her,
Down, boy. If I need your opinion, I will beat it out of you. Now get out of here. This is between your mother and me.
Isis stepped out of the shallow boat and bowed before Set.
Please forgive me, noble husband. I was just frightened by your show of power over Osiris, so I fled.
Understandable. My power is frightening, isn't it?
But now I am troubled. What if you grew jealous of my son and tried to kill him as well?
Set glanced at Anubis in the boat behind her.
Never. I would never kill your son. He is mine, too.
Please swear to me, Set. Promise me that your son will one day sit on your throne and that you will do nothing to harm him. Swear by the power of Amun-Ra.
Fine, fine. I swear by Amun-Ra.
With this promise delivered, Isis threw back her head and laughed.
Ha 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 ha!
What is wrong with you, woman?
You fool! You have pledged away all your plans.
What?
I am not your wife, Isis. I am not your wife. I am Isis. You will have sworn that my son Horus will succeed. Your first plan to harm him failed, and you have sworn to never harm him again.
Grr, no! Fortunately, I did not make the same promise about you.
Set lunged at his sister, but Isis transformed into the shape of a swallow and winged herself away.
I guess he showed you, didn't she, father?
Oh, hear me, Isis. Tell your son to take care. I will find a way to destroy him, as I did his father.
Back on the Nile, Wadjet the cobra goddess and Nephthys heard the faraway call of a swallow. And soon white-feathered Isis settled down upon the bank beside them and returned to her true human form.
Set is defeated for now. How is my son?
This child is amazing to survive so much poison.
Isis took the falcon-faced boy up into her arms. He squawked a bit at his mother's embrace as she carried him away from the others.
Come here, Horus.
She put her lips near his ear.
I will speak a name that I have never told another living soul. It is the true name of Ra. My Ka will double whisper it to your Ka. Then you will know and grow. You will grow up to be a mighty king, and one day avenge the death of your father.
Then Isis, the queen of heaven, leaned over and whispered the secret into the ear of Horus, her son. even more strength flowed into his body. And from that day forward, his destiny was sealed.
The end.